Starting in adoptme can feel really confusing, so here's the adoptme 101. Whether you're an absolute beginner or an experienced player, you'll learn something new from this video.
While you are up in space, I sit here by myself. Are you gonna spill the truth or waste your life away? Sitting on your fingertips, so I know what you'll say. Baby, don't bother, you know it hurts anyway. Don't bother, as long as you don't say that it's over now, that it's over.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in adoptme 101, we're going to be talking about things in adoptme that a beginner should know and tips for players who want to improve. Lesson 1. Pets. Rarity is a form of saying how rare the pet is, but it's not really what you think. A legendary could be worth so much less than an old common. This is because values increase as the pet leaves the game. Some pets stay in the game for almost forever, but some pets leave after a week or two. These are the rarities: common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, and legendary. For stickers, we also have animated, but we'll get into that later. Age levels. Age levels are what you age a pet, where you do its tasks, and once it becomes full grown, then it's going to be able to do something really cool, which I'll talk about later. These are the age levels: newborn, junior, preteen, teen, post-teen, and full-grown. There are different names for neons, but you don't need to know that as of right now. Neons are four of the same pets that are full-grown, and you bring them to the neon cave, where you combine them into just one pet, which has a color of glow. You can change this color in the salon, but we'll talk about all of this more later. Megas are four full-grown neons that are the same to the neon cave, and you can make them into a mega neon, which is where the neon parts of that pet glows rainbow. You can also change this in the salon. To find the neon cage, you come out of the neighborhood tunnel and there is a big bridge. There are 3 holes in the bridge, and the big one, there's a door to it, and that's the neon cave. If you're still not sure, you feel free to ask anyone in game, and they'll very kindly to show you where it is. And this is what I did when I didn't know where to find it. Your second lesson is trading. Demand versus value. Demand is what people like, which means that if a pet is cute, that means it might have more demand, and demand can also drop and rise rapidly depending on what pet is trending on YouTube, TikTok, whatsoever. Value is what the pet is actually worth. Rising and dropping rapidly don't tend to happen that often, but it can still happen. If you want to see if your trade is fair or not, you can use something called a trading website. I recommend adoptme and Alphabet, which is what most adoptme players use, but you can also use other websites to help you trade. And remember, never trade any adoptme pets for other games pets or things, or just Roblox or real life money, because even if it's just once, Roblox or adoptme will ban you, and this is because it's against their TNC. W/F/L is used to describe a trade if it's a win, fail, or a lose. You can clearly tell by the start, but what they mean is that a win, which means that your pet had less value or demand than the other pets, which means you got a win from a trade. Fair means both of these sides are like equal-ish, and lose means that your pet was worth more than the other person's pet. Lesson 3. Houses. So when you start adoptme, you get a tiny house which has already been decorated for you, but I recommend decorating your house a little bit more so it's more convenient for you to play. Search on YouTube cheap grinding houses. Don't spend too much on it, and don't spend too much time on it either, because you have more things to get on with. But it needs to be useful, because you can get what is called a grinding house, which means it has all the grinding facilities that your pet needs, like showering, sleeping, but as you can see, the orange task, you need to go around the map to do the task. But for the playground task, you can just get a piano and your pet could do that. But if you don't have that much money, I recommend just go to the playground, because the piano costs $100 per piano. And pretty houses are nice, but you make sure you want to save bucks for something else, because when you start, you can buy eggs, and then you can make the pets that you get from the eggs into mega or neon. And if you don't know what eggs in, we'll get on with that in another video. So yeah, this is class 1 of Adopt Me 101. Comment 101 if you want this to be a series. Class dismissed. Bye everyone.